You said on PFT, I watched it with Chris Sims, Steelers and Rodgers, there's a gap, there's an impasse. Are we still at an impasse?
I assume we are. And look, Jerry Dulac had the report yesterday, I believe it was, where it's hard to bury the lead in a tweet, but when he says that Russell Wilson could return if negotiations between Rodgers and the Steelers reach an impasse, that's the story, that they're talking and they're apparently preparing for an impasse. And I think the problem here is Rodgers believes the Steelers need him more than he needs them, and the Steelers believe Rodgers need the Steelers more than the Steelers need Rodgers. They both need each other. What are the Steelers going to do if it's not Aaron Rodgers? And what's Rodgers going to do if it's not the Steelers? Rodgers goes to the Giants? Are you kidding me? That was the only team that wanted him a couple of weeks ago. The Steelers finally woke up and realized the thing that I said to you guys months ago.
You did.
I mean, it was obvious that the Steelers are the best fit for him. They just need to get it done. And the problem is I could see the Steelers at some point saying, screw you, and signing Russell Wilson or, God forbid, Mason Rudolph or somebody else to fill that void, and then the Steelers will just be out, and he'll be out of luck.
How much of this do you think is just motivated by the overall Steelers' approach as to how they see themselves, Mike, within the NFL landscape? Like they're almost, because you say they might say screw you and just sign somebody else. There's part of me that just feels like even if they do think that this is dragging on too long, that they're going to hold out hope for Rodgers because they see themselves as maybe a healthy Aaron Rodgers away from being like a real honest-to-God contender, which is something I don't agree with, but I think that's how they view themselves still.
Well, and they also view themselves as a team that is going to get $33 million per year out of DK Metcalf, which is more stunning than any move the Steelers have ever made in the 50-plus years I've been paying attention to the team.
And we've spent like 2 minutes on it because of all the Aaron Rodgers
We
talk,
completely
Mike.
we just completely memory hold that entire thing.
Right. But no, look, I discovered the NFL December 20, what day was it? 23, 1972, the day of the Immaculate Reception. Mm-hmm. And I've been paying attention to the Steelers ever since then. They've never done anything like what they did with this DK Metcalf trade. Not what they gave up to get him, what they gave up to keep him. They've never paid that kind of money to a stranger to the organization.
Good point.
To make that kind of an investment in a receiver, you better get him the football. Who's getting him the football? And I think that's one of the reasons why Aaron Rodgers can be a little coy here and put his thumb on the scale, because good luck justifying DK Metcalf unless he plays quarterback, and I'm kidding. But good luck getting the $33 million per year out of DK Metcalf if you don't have anybody that can throw it to him as often as he needs to have it.
There's a pretty easy rebuttal there, though. They just had as their quarterback last year the guy that had chemistry with DK Metcalf in Seattle, Russell Wilson. So why wouldn't they just say to Aaron Rodgers, okay, if you're not going to play on our terms, we'll just pair DK Metcalf up with the guy that used to throw him the ball deep downfield over and over again in Seattle?
Here's the problem. To get $33 million per year out of DK Metcalf, you can't use him like you used him in Seattle. One of the reasons the Seahawks moved on from him, they were never going to pay him $33 million a year because they never used him like a $33 million a year guy. They didn't engineer their offense to get more out of him. This, from the Steelers' perspective, is a move that says we are going to maximize this player and get $33 million per year out of him. Moonballs are not going to get the most out of him. It's part of the equation, but there's got to be more than the moonball, and that's the only club left in the Russell Wilson bag. We saw that movie last year. We saw how it ended. It's not going to be any better when he's a year older. And I don't think – I mean, if they wanted him, he'd already be signed by now. If he becomes the guy they sign simply because they think Aaron Rodgers was driving too hard of a bargain, that's not the way to take this team where they're trying to take it.